Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Oscar Buzz. Trevor here, joined by Thomas as always, and we are talking about some television. We are talking about The Bear. Um, what a season of television. So, like, we've talked about TV a little bit on here.
Yeah.
As stated, Succession was like our personality for like a couple months.
Yeah.
We've been
Not in
looking
that
for
way
a
though.
show.
Not in that way. Not in that way. We
Yeah,
weren't we weren't
well,
turning to rich ourselves. Just to make clear. Just to make clear.
I wait, no. But I take the money.
Yeah.
But no. We've been looking for like a show to kind of fill the void that Succession left in our hearts. And after this season, I think we may have found an answer.
Yes. It's a shame it can't fill the void for much longer because like this is an amazing series of television. Like I really loved season one. I thought that season one felt so fresh and so distinctive that this season almost wouldn't like I didn't know where a series like The Bear would go. I thought The Bear could almost function as like a mini series to an extent, but they found a very interesting direction to take the story.
Yeah.
They found a very interesting sort of plot thread to just keep the story going, keep it ticking, keep the momentum there. Like the way I assume we're doing spoilers.
Yeah, we'll do the spoilers.
Yeah. Like structuring it around this sort of opening to a restaurant gives a clear time frame. It gives a sort of end thing that you're leading to. And I think it's what makes for such a great like series finale. I think the series finale is genuinely like brilliant because you have all the tension leading up to this point and it just sort of spills out. And obviously there's other standard episodes within there, and it's not just about the destination.
Episode 6.
Exactly. We'll get on
because
to the
thing because like
episodes, but
it's all structured toward this ending, but it takes time to like I don't know the way it like uses momentum in the show because it's pushing the momentum forward. It feels with every single episode towards it, even when we're going back 5 years, because it isn't necessarily about the narrative. Like obviously, like the tension of the show is like, oh, are they going to get the restaurant open? Like you'd feel like that's pretty like it would be weird if that was the entire setup and there's just like, oh, it didn't happen, but it's about like the time in the space in which they reveal the information that is creating all of the tension that we're feeling for all the characters. And that is what makes it so special. Like God, like everything with Molly Gordon's character, I think is fantastic.
Oh yeah, she adds a great new dynamic to the show, and it's again, it's good creating this like very, very watchable conflict within Carmi, and you feel bad from the whole time, yet you just want him to make the right decisions, and then the way perspective is a very interesting thing over the course of this show because you got obviously Sydney Edebiri's character. She is
brilliant.
Like you see the story from her side of things, and you also see the Carmi's side, and they're dual protagonists, very much more so in season one. Like they are dual protagonists this series, which I think is great because I think they're both very interesting characters. But you just see actions that Carmi makes have consequences there, and vice versa. And you see, like it's not like a simple who's in the wrong, who's in the right, because at some points you really are against Carmi in the series, but it's the way it allows you to challenge your sort of perceptions and the protagonist, but then so that they make you care about them towards the end. I think is very impressive.
Absolutely. I mean, also like they did a lot with Cousin Richie in this.
Yes, him as well.
Season in his entire character arc, just like brilliant. I mean, as a bit of a Taylor Swift fan myself, loved all of the Taylor Swift bits. But also just like that episode where like episode 7, like following up the insane Christmas episode. Like I like that I went back and rewatched that conversation between him and Olivia Colman in her guest spot multiple times. Just brilliant writing.
Olivia Colman makes her mark, and as do all the guest actors. There's one thing that needs to be known. Obviously, the lead cast, we'll talk about them individually. They're all highlights, but the guest cast they managed to get here is pretty insane. Christ. Like you've got Will Poulter just appears for an episode,
just casually,
just casually there for an episode. Olivia Colman, there's episode 6, obviously, which has the slew of them.
Jamie Lee Curtis, Bob Odenkirk, John Mulaney,
John Mulaney, yes, exactly, all of them. But all of them are pitch perfect in their roles, and I found that very impressive. Especially JLC. She deserves to win. The amount of Emmy clips she can get in the space of one episode or 2 episodes,
and 10 in which
exactly. And the amount of Emmy clips. I didn't know it was possible to just have all her scenes be Emmy.
Every single scene is an Emmy clip.
Pretty much. It's
ridiculous. Special. Like perfectly cast as well. Also John Bernthal's there as well as Mikey.
Yep.
We forgot that. John Bernthal's here just too casually.
Yes. No, and I guess speaking of episode 6, it is a real standout. I think this is obviously you had the one take episode last series, which was everyone lost their minds over, and that is very, very good.
Yeah.
This does not hold even a candle to series 2, episode 6. Like it's on Succession series 4 level stuff. Like it's so tense throughout. You really just buy into the sense of these characters with history. You get all of the history and all of the character dynamics through just sort of the subtle dialogues and the subtle ways they interact with one another. It's very, very impressive stuff.
Yeah, and it just like I know it develops tension so naturally around like things that you would expect of him, like the fork, right?
Yeah.
Like and like that, like I haven't thought about forks in the same way. Just like like I don't know, like it grounds itself so deeply in its characters. And like and then it allows like the form and like the style of like the editing and stuff to kind of ebb and flow with the characters, which I just think is brilliant. I mean, we talk about frequently our very different approaches to like how we enjoy films, and you're very rooted in like the writing and the characters, and I'm very rooted in like, you know, like the form and the, you know, directorial visions and all that types of stuff. And when those two things marry, I think that like creates the stuff that both of us like the most.
Yeah.
And something like this, like the pacing of the flow and like just the texture and the feel of the show is fully determined by the character that we're following, because like we do have lots of like little asides, and like I mean when we go off to the in Copenhagen, I think is where they are.
Yeah.
And like that entire episode feels a bit more like softer and like, you know, but then there's also like kind of this like edge off the side. And like you find that with every single episode, the episode with Cousin Richie when he goes episode 7, like the Christmas episode, all of these episodes, they have a distinct feel, but they feel cohesive as a complete like season because of how well fleshed out the characters are and how that feels natural. Like it's just brilliant filmmaking.
Yeah, and I'm also very happy each character did get their own little special episode that was sort of theirs to an extent. Like obviously you've got the Carmi and the Sydney stuff as the main focal point throughout, but you get these chances to just spend, you know, 40 minutes within this character's life. And it's that's why I do think sort of just dropping this all in one go was probably the best way of doing it, because it's got that tension where it is just so bingeable. It doesn't have that quite same aspect of Succession where you're wanting to constantly talk about it every week. Therefore, I do think the binging is slightly better because as well,
shorter
like,
episodes.
There is also shorter episodes, but like you get this sort of chance to just spend this, you know, whatever it is, 8 hours in the lives of these people, and you just sort of dip in
like five,
yeah. And I just think that's what's really impressive about it. You do feel like this is just all fleshed out. These are all real people that just are going about their life, and it's all very cinematic and dramatic or whatever. But you know, you just spend time with them, which I think is really great.
Like I especially
get to know them as people.
I love Ayo Edebiri. Like Ayo Edebiri, Rachel Sennett, like some of my favorite people in the industry right now. Loved like her entire arc through this, and like the stuff with like the book, with like the basketball coach, and like all of her interactions with her dad, and just like I don't know, I want to actually go back and rewatch season 1 now, because I feel like we have so much more like time that we've spent with these characters, obviously, but like we've learned so much, and I think that's what makes this season really special, is it doesn't feel like any moment is wasted. Like it feels like every single scene we are learning something either about the past or for the future.
Yes. Yeah, everything is also allowed to be taken at its own pace. Like nothing ever feels rushed here. It's not like everything needs to reveal something about the character.
Some episode will be like 18 minutes, some will be an hour.
Yeah, but it's the way it's sort of slowly real, so you don't necessarily know you're even learning something about, say, Carmen or Sydney throughout, but then you realize you look back on it later on in the series with a different perspective, and you realize that you have, and that's probably the best way of doing character development like this, where you just sort of subtly reveal this stuff, so that
this is a masterclass in like television character development.
Yeah, 100%.
Masterclass, and again, how they marry the form with it, it's just like genius. Obsessed with the show, obsessed with this season.
Brilliant. I mean, I will say there are a couple things just holding it back slightly for me. You know, obviously very positive on this series as a whole. I do think it does have a tendency to just sort of cut to a weird montage thing, like, and does that.
I agree. I didn't love the montage stuff.
Yeah, and it does it quite a lot, and I'm just like, well, do we really need that there? I don't know. I just think maybe the the sort of pacing within
It
each
feels very
individual
cable
episode.
television
Yes,
in
that's what
that
I thought. I
sense.
thought, are we pausing for like an advert break or something here? There's no, yeah, but
Yeah. No, I agree. I think there's that. Like just some of the I don't know. I think some of like the situational editing, like within a scene is like brilliant. I think some of the structural editing, could use some help just in the way in which it arranges scenes and like keeps the tension and pacing from character to character when they're dealing with multiple different plot lines in an episode. But like, I don't like it doesn't bother me that much. Like,
no, it was just as I was watching it, it did sort of take me out of it just a little
yeah,
bit.
I do
It was
agree. I
just,
do agree.
yeah, something I didn't remember from the first season. I knew it might be there in the first series. I need to
It
rewatch it,
definitely is
but
there in the first season as
it
well.
definitely felt, somewhat more apparent here. And I don't know why that was, but that was my one major sort of thing. And then I guess towards the end of the series, I do think some of the characters are sort of sidelined.
Sure,
To
but I
maybe
think
a
that's
greater
to be
degree than they need
expected.
to. I mean, it's to be expected exactly when you've got the lengths of episodes being as long as they are. Like there, I think the longest one is obviously episode 6, but ignoring that, maybe the longest one is 40 minutes. Since
Yeah.
like they're short episodes, but I did feel that some of the characters were maybe sort of ignored towards the end, and I was like, well,
That's
I kind of want to see maybe a last moment from you or whatever in the series.
That's fair. But like also I think that we're gonna get like many more seasons of this.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
And like I mean we're obviously getting to season 3, but like I could watch like 4 more seasons of this in all honesty.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, they found a new direction to, as I said, like I wasn't confident there would be more stuff beyond season 1, but they found another thing to go, sort of run with, and hopefully they'll do that again numerous times.
Yeah. No, it just What we haven't talked about Jeremy Allen White, but like I mean obviously just like
obviously. Yeah. Exactly.
Just one of the best performances on TV in the last couple of years, I'd say. Like
probably. Yeah.
Genuinely impeccable stuff. Just I don't know, his mannerisms, just the way that he breathes and carries himself.
This guy.
Like,
I feel like he's gonna be typecast for me now. I'm gonna see
him.
him.
100% he's gonna get
no, you're not. You're not.
I mean, I'm excited to see him in the Iron Claw.
Exactly.
This year.
See him do something.
No, I mean, just like
outside of
what a performance! Like God, the fact that this is categorized as comedy for the Emmys is
genuinely. I completely forgot it was because this series, like the first series, sure there are some comedic elements. I mean, it's a drama, but there are some comedic elements. Here, it's a flat out drama that sometimes relieves the tension
with comedy. It's fully just like a drama, comic relief scene every. Like Succession is more of a comedy than this is.
Yes. Oh, 100%. Like it's got maybe like a comedic relief character. It's like
Fack, I think.
Yeah, Fack.
Like, come on, guys. Anyways, let's briefly talk about the Emmys. I mean, I do think that this season is going to really, really help season 1. We were talking about this. Like, I think it's now like in the conversation to win. And I think that Jeremy Allen White is like very much made it a race with Jason Sudeikis. And I think that Ayo Edebiri is going to be in the conversation to win. Like, I think that this has turned it from like it's a strong locked for a nom for season 1 to be like, oh, this could maybe be winning competitive in some categories just because of like the moment that the show is having right now, right as Emmys voting is happening.
Yeah, no, I think there is a chance that happens. I definitely think that's more likely for this next series. So when we go,
especially with Ted Lasso, Barry, Maisel, all gone. Abbott, we don't know if the season's going to come out due to the writer strike and actor strike. So like, I genuinely think it could be the front runner for this season, and like deservedly so.
Yeah, no, I do think it might have a problem though this series, just because Ted Lasso last series, it was a massive cultural moment. Like this could even draw votes away from Abbott Elementary, which unfortunately might be a problem. But like I just think if people are voting Ted Lasso, they're going to keep voting Ted Lasso, and you just need to hope that there's enough sort of support for other stuff. Yeah, Ted Lasso be taken down. That's why I do think Abbott Elementary is currently winning. Yeah, exactly. It's far as this year. I mean, next series, obviously.
I think this season, like that season 2 for next year, could be like a juggernaut because like you got series. It has like multiple directing things that it can submit, both episode 6 and episode 10 in particular, and 7. Honestly, same thing for writing. It will probably submit all those. It could like get like 6 nominations in the guest acting. Like Jamie Lee Curtis is winning. I'm sorry, I'm perfectly comfortable calling it now. Jamie Lee Curtis is going to win comedy at guest actress.
She has to. She has
to. I don't care what else comes out this year. Jamie Lee Curtis is winning.
Yeah. No, definitely. And one of the men could win as well, genuinely. So one of the male guest actors. So, but yeah. No, I think there is a chance that it could propel itself to wins. I don't think it will happen this series, though. I think we might have to
But
wait
like
until
Ayo
the old
Berry,
guard passed. Yeah, I think that will be in the
like
conversation, as you said. I
yeah.
think this
I'm
theory
just saying
will
for
allow
next year,
them
like
to.
Ayo Berry is going to be winning competitive.
Yeah,
Even Mas Bakrak, he was way stronger in this season than I think he is in season 1. Like I think that he could
yeah.
end up being winning competitive genuinely
I
next
mean,
year.
episode 7, like
Like
come on,
God.
come on. Yeah,
Yeah. Jeremy on White, I think especially without Sudeikis and Bill Hader there, I think could win.
I think
Like
there's a chance. As you say, he's probably in the conversation this year as well.
yeah.
So,
And then obviously like series, like this could be a juggernaut. This could be a
yeah,
juggernaut. Also, like Molly Gordon, I think will probably be in the nomination. She should at least be in the nomination conversation
she should.
for
That would
supporting
be nice.
actress.
That would be
So,
nice.
I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, but just brilliant show overall. Brilliant show overall. Any final thoughts?
No. I mean, I guess I'm just excited to see, more from this show. More from
Yeah,
this show.
I need more.
Yes, exactly. But yeah, I guess for an overall rating, I'd be looking at. I think some episodes in this series are 10 out of 10. I'd say I'd go 9 out of 10 overall, though.
I agree. I'm also feeling the 9 out of 10 overall, but like as a
Some
whole, like
episodes are proper
10
all
out of
times,
10s.
like chef's kiss. Yeah.
Like, yeah, chef.
Yeah.
And like,
I didn't even mean to do that. I didn't even mean to do that.
but like, no, yeah, I think that like this, I'll have to see what happens with Severance season 2, but
Yeah.
this is probably my favorite show that is currently ongoing on television right now. And we'll see what happens with Severance season 2. Also, I mean, I do adore Hacks, and we'll see what happens with that next season. Yellow Jackets, I liked season 1 a lot. Bit let down by season 2.
Yeah, I'm worried Yellow Jackets. Yeah, like I'm halfway through series 2 of Yellow Jackets. I'm worried it might be one of those shows that just sort of goes downhill after that first series. Hopefully not.
But yeah, the Bear's brilliant. The Bear is brilliant. Anyways, that is it for this today. Stay tuned. We're going to be doing a big Emmys live stream probably for nomination predictions for this year. And it's going to be quite fun. We'll have a variety of fun guests. So that should be lots of fun. So stay tuned for that, as well as other Oscars, Emmys, Grammys, all those types of stuff that you'll be finding here. So stick around for that. But until next time, stay safe, everybody, and goodbye.